put the tweet out for Ask Junior.
Okay.
For all the shows, and that way it's just out there. They can be patient and just wait for the feed to pop up.
Hey, we are streaming. And you were up.
Hey, everybody, it's Dale Jr. For the Dale Jr. download. This is the Ask Junior portion of the segment. You're watching. You're obviously watching us on our YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys for being a part of it, and thank Nationwide for sponsoring this segment. So we got some questions coming in. Hopefully, I know it's we're fired it up real quick here. We got any good ones popping off there, Leah?
Well, we have one from our buddy NASCAR man. A few months ago, you mentioned restoring a 1980 Bobby Allison Bud Moore car with Ray Evernham. Has any progress been made on that recently?
Absolutely not. You know, that car was sitting somewhere, Georgia, I think, but me and Ray put a little money together and bought it, and we were just in possession of it. To restore that car, it's going to cost us about $80,000 to $100,000. So we're trying to figure out how to fund the restoration project. It's not something that neither Ray nor myself want to spend our own money on, and we would like. I've been trying to track down some, some leads on people that might be interested in helping us get that restoration kicked off. But so yeah.
Josh wants to know, how's the new sim rig?
Josh must be the CEO of Carolina. The sim rig that I bought is pretty awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Actually, Carolina SimWorks is the company that I bought it from, and Josh, I think if that's him, he's the CEO or the owner. And there's a lot of great companies out there that put together rigs, but this is a good, sturdy little rig. And back on iRacing, having fun. I got my new account started, Dale Earnhardt Jr. 2. The original one I don't really mess with as much anymore, but having fun starting all over from the bottom. I mean, back down there with the rookies. And my friend Tim Duggar, country music singer from Nashville, I got him set up with an iRacing account, and he's racing at home, and he's won his first race last night. So excited! We were on the drive home from Martinsville, and he won, and he was FaceTiming and extremely excited.
He was.
Yeah.
That's cool. JD Harshfield, he wants to know what other short track would be a great addition to the Cup schedule.
Come again? What's that?
What other short track would be a great addition to the Cup schedule?
Oh my! I mean, the list is long. Oh, to the Cup schedule. You know, that's tough. For some reason, Nashville Fairgrounds would be great. I've said it a million times. Bringing the Cup Series back to Nashville would be amazing. But, there's not like a criteria of, what a short track needs to be or what's, if are we talking about short tracks that only have safer barriers right now? There's a lot of short tracks that'd be great that would have to install some of these safety measurements that NASCAR requires for these racetracks. South Boston would be an amazing racetrack for us to at least get the Xfinity Series back to. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina would be a pretty cool place to see truck racing or maybe even Xfinity racing at some point. But the short tracks, they're out there, and they're all across the country. And, it would be, I think, Cayuga. What's the name of that place now up in Canada? I don't even know the name of it.
Jucasa.
Jeez. All right.
It's
so
fantastic, yeah.
It's a beautiful racetrack. There's a brand new racetrack in Virginia. What Old Dominion? There's a New Dominion? Matthew?
New Dominion.
What's the Dominion Speedway? Is that just it?
Is it the Virginia
Yeah.
one? It's it was Old Dominion. Is it New Dominion? Did it become new?
Either way. The point is there's great short tracks everywhere. And Matthew has all these amazing tidbits and knowledge, but man, when I go reach for one. There's a lot of great short tracks out there. I don't know.
All right, Barry Ray, he says, with the recent sale of Concord Speedway, which appears to be the end of the property being a racetrack, I was wondering what Dale's fondest memory of running street stocks there is.
At Concord? Oh, my fondest memories was burning the right front wheel bearings out of the thing every other week and pounding the fence. Going to the junkyard and climbing underneath old cars in the weeds, trying not to get bit by the snakes to get those ball joints to replace them. Lower control arms, upper control arms. Yeah. It was, I think, I remember crashing across the finish line, running second one night. My first, so this is so annoying. Race car drivers don't forget anything. But me and my brother built a car, and we shared a car. And so he run it one week, and I'd run it the next. And then we built the second car. I built the second car, and I take it to the racetrack, and this thing's looking great. And a guy walks up and says, one of the other street stock racers that I didn't know, and he goes, "Man, that thing's too pretty to be out here." And he said it in a real smart-assy way. And damn if he didn't run into the left rear quarter panel in the dog leg of the back straightaway on the first lap and spun me out. And then so I'm sitting there sideways, holding brakes. Everybody goes by, and this big, giant Ford Torino lagging back at the back of the field comes lumbering through the dog leg right at me and hits me in the right rear tire. And it split. I had a stock fuel cell in it. Split the stock fuel cell in half. Luckily, it should have, but it did not catch on fire. I cranked the car up, and it drove, even with that big, heavy shot from that Ford in the right rear tire. I drove it to the pits, and Tony Sr. is there helping Tony Jr. because Tony Jr. had his late model there. And he's looking down underneath the car, and I'm like, oh, man, must be some bad damage and stuff dragging. And he's looking at the fuel pouring out of the fuel cell, and it's split in half. And we were so lucky it didn't just burn up. But then I had to, my quarter panel was ruined, Couldn't, I had to beat the quarter panel out.
Where are the good memories?
I think he's saying he didn't have any.
We raced hard. I remember, we raced hard. We wrecked a lot. And we porta powered the front clip straight a dozen times on those cars. And you weren't supposed to put any kind of support up in the front end. It was illegal to have any kind of a bumper bar or any kind of structural support around the radiator. And I had to take my radiator every other week to get some hole plugged in it, some tank fixed. And literally this radiator, we tried to get through the whole season, and it looked like it had been in a damn trash compactor. And half of the flues in the thing were plugged solid from repairs, and pretty violent, tough little introduction racing the street stocks at Concord for a year for me and Kerry, but we learned a ton, and we worked on that car ourselves and had to fix it a lot. So it was a good experience, but we didn't have great memories. I remember being broke. Dad, it wasn't like Dad was giving us the money to go race. Me and Kerry had to go find sponsorship, and we put decals all over the car to be able to put money together to go to the racetrack. And about 3/4 of the way through the season, we was out of money. And our Street Stock Series would get paid about $100, maybe $200 to win. And we had, tires were, $50 a tire at least. And they had a spec tire that everybody had to run, Hoosier. And pit passes they had these Big Ten weekends where the super late models ran a special event, and they charged $20 for the pit passes no matter what class you ran. So even the street stock guys had to spend $20 a person for a pass. And man, we had this trailer with a box compartment on the front that we had our toolboxes and our jack and everything in, and I would hide in that. We'd pull over on the side of the road about 2 miles from the track. I'd climb in that box, and we'd drive into the racetrack, carried by his pit pass, and pull in there. And when he'd get out of the truck and go over to the box, open the door, and I'd start handing him shit out of it, like the tools and stuff. Like, hey man, I'm just helping you out, and then I'd climb out, and I'd try to avoid being anywhere where I might get my, check for a pass the rest of the night. But man, it was ridiculous.
All right, Joseph, he's asking if you could have one car from the RCR Museum, what would it be?
Oh, well, probably the 98 Daytona 500 winner. That would be a good one. If not that, maybe one of the blue and yellow Wrangler cars. One of those Monte Carlos would be pretty cool, 86, 87. I don't know. I'd take anything. You know, I'd love the older stuff, the blue and yellow Wrangler stuff, probably more than any of the Goodwrench cars. Aside from that 98 Daytona 500 car, would be cool.
All right.
That's a good question.
We're getting a lot of questions about your thoughts on, Denny versus Joey. So.
Yeah, we talk about that quite a bit in the open segment of the show right after the kickoff, right after kick starts. So.
Leave it there. That's where you got to go.
Yep.
You guys, if you guys get a hold of the podcast later this evening, you'll be able to hear our comments on all that. And I hope everybody enjoyed the race, and thought it was a good race, even though we had a car dominate. I felt like it was still pretty entertaining, and Martinsville reigned supreme, man.
The only other question we're getting a lot of, what's Isla going to be for Halloween?
Right now, I think she's going to be Minnie Mouse. Amy has changed her mind multiple times about what she's going to dress up as, but I think that's where we're at right now is Minnie Mouse. Isla loves Minnie Mouse, Daisy, Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, Goofy, all of them. Talks about them all day long.
That'd be a stellar costume to go to then.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are you all going to dress up?
I'm not dressing up, but we're going to be in Texas. We're flying to the race Thursday. So we're going to fly into Texas and go visit some friends in Dallas that are family of Amy. And they have some girls. We're going to go trick-or-treating with their kids, and it should be pretty fun for Alice. Amy says she's going to be good for about 4 or 5 houses, and it sounds great. I know my day's coming, though, to be dressing up with her and doing whatever. She's going to be like, come on, you got to do this. I'm going to be like, all right.
All right, guys, that's it for today.
All right, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in for the Ask Junior part of the show. The podcast will be out later tonight on all our platforms. Ricky Rudd's the guest today. Can't wait to talk to him, and it's going to be a great conversation with the Rooster.